Welcome to the Wise Take DFS podcast. I am your host, CK013. You can find me on Twitter at CK_013. And I'm joined once again by one of Wise Take's finest DFS analysts, Mr. CashinDFS. You can find him on Twitter at CashinDFS. Cash, my man, how you doing?
Doing all right.
All right, that's good.
But I mean, I faded Pavetta, which it didn't work too well.
No, he definitely had himself a little bounce back. I
mean, I loved him, but it was just ownership thing.
And he was popular. He was, for sure. I got the job done. I played Pavetta, and I didn't do too well. But I haven't really. I've been kind of, obviously, as you know, I've been in the middle of a move, so just moved into the new digs. Don't even got my lights set up, my green screen ain't set up, nothing. So I've been barely playing. I've been playing one lineup a day because I'm a degenerate. But I probably shouldn't have been playing at all because I haven't really had time to do the research. But it is what it is. Had to keep it in the wall. The thing with baseball, I feel like you would take breaks, but even when you take a break, you still got to pay attention to what's going on. Because if you don't, it's very hard to just kind of wake up in the middle of the season and just know what's going on and know who's due for what, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it sucks. So I take off Sunday and I don't play at all.
Right, and you come back Monday and it's
at least on Saturday I don't look at nothing,
right,
but
right.
I still totally got a team.
But you're keeping up though. You know when it went down, who did well. But when you take off that Sunday. Then Monday comes and there's something that happens later on and you're like, oh, okay, I missed that. You know what I mean? Just one day is all it takes, man. And then it's just oh, okay. But then it's all good because by Tuesday you're back on it. So, but yeah, baseball is one hell of a thing, man. But everything's new, man. I got, it's the same everything else, but new place, same town. But this is weird. Even doing the show from here, obviously this is my first night sleeping at his house, and I'm looking around and I'm doing a show from it right now, and it feels weird. It does. It feels good, but it feels weird. Yeah. All right. Enough about me. Let's go ahead and start off because we got a 15-game slate to get through, and it's already 12:30, and I'm exhausted, man. I've been moving shit all day, packing shit all day. I'm beat, Cash. I'm tired, man.
Hey, man. At least it ain't 120 degrees though.
Yes. Well, actually, it was very hot today, but it's still not as hot as where you are. But it was actually very hot today, and it hasn't been this hot in a while. So I don't know. Of all days, to be hot as hell in New Jersey, the day was the day. I still got to make my way to Monmouth Park. I haven't even made it down there yet. You know what I mean? It's 20 minutes from me. I haven't even made it down there yet because of the move. No, but it's worth it. That definitely feels good. All right, man. Again, enough about me. Marco Gonzalez, the lefty from the Seattle Mariners, visiting Domingo Germán of Paulie D's New York Yankees. Total here is currently 9. The Yankees minus 160 at home. It's going to be warm again in the Bronx, 84 degrees, 32% humidity. What do you think, Ash?
I've been playing Marco Gonzalez a lot. Today is not that day. Don't think today is that day. Just no way. But maybe he causes me not to stack the Yankees. Well, I mean, he probably does cause me not to stack the Yankees. And on the other side, this kid is so good. He's 7'3". I don't love the matchup against Seattle, but like I said, the kid is really good. He can also get hit hard. So it's interesting. I definitely want to look at him at 7'3". Much more than Marco Gonzalez against the Yankees, that's for sure. Nelson Cruz is hot, but Domingo is not a lefty. I'm not worried. I mean, Kyle Seager has not been very good, and usually he's better against lefties this year. I like this kid. I just don't know how much strikeout upside they will bring him.
Yeah, I completely agree, man. Like I know he's been pitching well, and his numbers are great. 338 xFIP this year, 30.5% strikeout rate. You can certainly make a case he's been phenomenal. But I'm with you. I feel like we're taking on so much risk on a 15-game slate. I don't know if we have to, because while he's cheap, he's going up against a team, like you said, that doesn't provide a lot of strikeout upside as an offense. And then you have the small park factor. It's warm, kind of humid. The ball could carry a little bit. Small park. It's just may not be worth the risk. Might not be the right matchup. Because like you said, also, while Domingo has tremendous strikeout abilities, he also gets hit kind of hard. So when he does get hit, that thing goes. And when you have a lot of guys on Seattle that like to make contact, might be a little bit too risky. But he's 7-4, so can't rule him out. I'm with you on Marco Gonzalez, too. I don't have any interest in pitching him against the Yankees. I'm not trying to be that guy. But at the same time, I think it may limit some of my Yankee exposure. Because like maybe I'll pick one, like a Stanton or a Gary Sanchez, who seems to be coming around. But I'm with you. Like, he's been good enough to where like I don't really want to mess with him. You know what I mean?
If Herman is going to be low owned because people don't want to play him, I will. Because I look at his pitches. Like, if you look at his grades on his pitches, they're elite. Mm-hmm. Like, this kid has elite stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It's elite.
Oh, he's looked great. He's looked great.
But, like you said, and it get hit, and it's probably going to go over the fence.
Next up, we got Luke Weaver of the St. Louis Cardinals visiting Vince Velasquez of them Philadelphia Phillies. Total here is 8.5. Philly minus 120 at home, 86 degrees, 37% humidity in the city of brotherly love. What do you got here?
Well, if this dumbass throws out every single righty, like all righties again, like threw all righties except Carpenter today, which was so stupid. If he does that again, I'll like Velasquez. Velasquez is at home. All their every pitcher for them, Nola, Velasquez, Pavetta, all of them. Their strikeout upside is much better at home. The wind is blowing in today, not out. It's still really hot. I like him, especially if I get to see 8 righties or 7 righties in the pitcher. Luke Weaver, he sucks. Don't pitch him at 8K. He sucks. I could look it up over here at this other side. Hoskins is hot. I'm not scared of Weaver. And these lefties, like the top 4. And then Nick Williams as well if he plays.
Yeah, I like it. I like Velasquez as well. 3.65 xFIP, 27.6% strikeout rate this season. A little bit of a fly ball pitcher, but against righties, he's been lethal, man. 271 WOBA, 0.09 ISO. He's just been really, really good, and a 29.1% strikeout rate to righties. So I agree. If they don't want to throw any lefties out there, then it's tough not to like Velasquez in this spot, going right back to attack St. Louis. Who, while like when you look at them as a lineup, you don't necessarily see a ton of strikeouts. Like, they can, and if they are going up against a dominant right-handed pitcher, they will, as we saw.
I mean, he got almost a 30% K rate to righties.
Yeah, absolutely, and we'll see if these. I wonder if these coaches look at this stuff. Like, sometimes I wonder, you know.
I don't know. Maybe he looked at Pavetta's history and it's like, oh, okay, he struggles against righties. I don't know what
splits.
Yeah, man, I don't know what they do. They're a bunch of morons. That's what I know. Just come play DFS for a couple of weeks. Then you'll know how to manage a team.
Come check out the Wise Take podcast. We'll teach you all about it. I'm still on the CashinDFS for Coach campaign. I know that was an NBA thing, but I'm with it for baseball too, baby. Let's go.
I just looked at the lineup. I'm like, what is this guy doing? Like, what is he doing? Why is he doing this? And right when I seen the lineup, I'm like, oh yeah, now it's for sure. Yeah. He's gonna be chalk, and he should be chalk. I mean, it's just a terrible lineup, man. What an idiot.
Absolutely. And I'm with you on Weaver, man. It's disappointing. Like, Weaver, I loved him last year. This year, he's been so disappointing. He's got a swinging strike rate under 10% right now. And just everything about him, just nothing is really, like, a super attractive. He's 8K. He's not even cheap. And while, listen, I love attacking the Phillies. I do. But right now, they're kind of hot. You know, like, they'll strike out a bunch, but they're putting up runs. So it's like, if Weaver's not getting his own strikeouts and he's relying on the Phillies to strike out, say he gets like 5-6 strikeouts, like the Phillies very well may put up 5-6 runs on this dude, and you get a whole.
Yeah, I mean, I played Mikolas on the team today, and that was over real quick.
Yeah, man, they got the Mikolas.
Gave up a hit, and he walked Rice.
Yeah, they got one.
And then it was over.
Yeah, and then it was over. Yes, Reese Hoskins right now is though he's red hot. That guy's just an animal right now. Reese.
Yep.
He's the beast.
And so is Herrera. Herrera is going
He's
off.
waking back up.
Like 4 or 5 days in a row.
I know he hit a home run today, so there you go. He's waking back up. Even Nick Williams, I know he's kind of fallen off the last couple of days, but he was hot there for a little while too. A little while. So Phillies are interesting, right? It's gonna be warm. Phillies are interesting.
I like the top 4 and Nick.
Yeah, definitely. David Hess of the Baltimore Orioles visiting Jeffrey Rodriguez of the Washington Nationals. We don't have a spread or a total for this game because I think Washington was probably late to announce this guy as the pitcher. But it is going to be 85 degrees with 60% humidity out in Washington. So we should see, if this holds up with the humidity and the heat, we should see a pretty significant boost to the bats in this big ballpark. What do you think?
I wish Mr. David Hess luck. I gonna like Washington here a lot today. Hess has been decent. He's had some pretty good games, but I mean, all these lefties in this heat. The wind, I mean, it's blowing in a little bit. I mean, it's not much. I like Washington, and I wish this kid Rodriguez was cheaper. I would just lock button. I could lock button on 150 teams against this sorry ass team. Baltimore is garbage. Just terrible. Terrible. They're terrible. This kid is good. This kid has strikeout upside. I just wish he wasn't 5'9". But I guarantee you I'll have a team with him for sure.
Yeah. I'm with you. I mean, I definitely wish he was like in the 4s. Like, I don't know why we can't get that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we usually always get that with a young guy. We're not getting that here. I guess because Baltimore. But
and he's good.
He's good. Yeah, exactly. DraftKings is pretty proactive with that kind of stuff. If they know a minor leaguer, if they know a little sum on a minor leaguer, and they have high expectations, they've been known to increase the price, and that's been the case with this Jeffrey Rodriguez dude. At 5'9", I mean, he's not cheap enough for us to, like you said, like drool over, but he's cheap enough for us to roster. And yeah, I don't see how you don't love the Nationals. I'm assuming this is going to be one of the better hitting environments on the slate, and they're home. And this is like the first time I think they've been home with all their guys healthy, assuming Matt Adams is healthy, but he wasn't even the one. Like I'm referring to Eaton and Daniel Murphy, and this lineup is scary. This lineup is scary. Like it's about to go down. Like they were winning without these guys. It's about to get ugly real quick. Like if you've been wondering like how come the National stacks haven't been like working, like the Nationals, like it's about to get real at some point. As soon as these guys start clicking, it's gonna be crazy. Because Harper's struggling right now, and Eaton and Murphy, they're still kind of finding their groove. They're not doing bad, but they're still kind of finding their groove. Once they're all there, you got problems. You got serious problems with this lineup.
Major problems. I mean, 1 through 7, you got major problems if you're a righty.
Yes, you got major problems.
And then a lefty, they take out Adams and put in Reynolds. Yep. So you still got major problems.
Yes. And David Hess is not very good. He's got his own problems. He's got his own.
He's going to have problems today.
He's going to have a lot more problems. He got his own problems. And he's going to have more problems today against the Nationals. So, in this environment. So, it's also a little bit of a rivalry thing, right? Like, these guys play right next to each other. It's kind of like their own little in-state kind of thing, even though, it's not. But you know what I mean. Anyway.
Yeah. I mean, they could sleep in their own bed.
Yeah. Man. Oh, yeah. Both sides. Freddie Peralta of the Milwaukee Brewers visiting Jameson Taillon of those Pittsburgh Pirates. Total here is 8. Pittsburgh minus 113 at home. 81 degrees, 60% humidity as well. Another boost to the bats, if you will. What do you think?
I mean, Taillon is very, very good against righties, but he's going to see, at least 4 lefties with Thames back. Thames, Yelich, Shaw, Villar will be in there, so that's at least 4. So that probably makes me not want to play Tyon. And Peralta, maybe. I mean, the guy's been okay. Well, he was okay the one game, and then more than okay, awesome. And then he came back and got beat up. I don't know, like if people are scared, like maybe, but it's just Pittsburgh. I hate to play guys against Pittsburgh. What's the weather? 81 degrees. I don't know. I just don't know how much K upside he has.
I'm with you, man. I love Freddie Peralta. Like I love what we saw that game in Coors. It was impressive.
Yeah, if I could get that Colorado Peralta.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Oh yeah. The problem is, like you said, he's not facing Colorado. He's facing Pittsburgh. And while it's a pretty good park, strikeout pitchers against Pittsburgh don't always have the best success. To put it lightly, Pittsburgh doesn't strike out. So I'm with you. Don't know if I can pull the trigger. I don't want to necessarily say no just yet. I guess it's going to depend on whatever options we see. But doesn't get me as excited as Freddie Peralta himself does. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And Moron is hot.
Yeah, he is.
Meadows is a beast. I mean, I wouldn't be playing Meadows probably at his price, but Moron, he's only 3.5. He's been hot.
Yes. Agreed.
I don't know. I just don't love the K upside.
Agreed. And then Tyon 8-4. Just like you said, depends on if we get a bunch of righties, I'll pivot. I'll change my mind completely. Like if for some reason Milwaukee went out there and threw out, because he's good against righties. If Milwaukee just said screw it, let's just throw out 9 righties against this dude, 8 righties against this dude, I would flip my tune. But assuming that they're going to play their usual 4 lefties of Thames, Yelich, Shaw, and VR, and maybe even Sogard, that would definitely drive me away from Tyon. Don't want, if there's a lot of lefties in there, I want to do it in at 8-4. And Milwaukee's not striking out as much this year as they were last year. Like last year, it was like, forget about it. But Thames is back. That helps. He strikes out a lot. That helps.
Yeah, but he also has double dome.
Yes, he does, man. Yes, he does. Long D style. Mike Soroka of Cash's hometown, 8-town all day, Atlanta Braves, visiting Jaime Garcia, the lefty from them Toronto Blue Jays. Total here is 9, Toronto minus 105, 73 degrees, 44% humidity. Maybe they open the roof, but maybe not, because it feels like they rarely do. But what do you got?
I wish this was in Atlanta. Then I'd be all over this kid. But at 8-9 against Toronto at home, I don't know. They're a much better offense at home. I really like this kid, though. Do think this kid is going to be pretty dang good. I mean, 2 of his matchups have been against your Mets, so it kind of
can't give him that much.
Kind of ruins it. yeah, it kind of ruins those. But still, I think the kid's going to be good. It's just the price. I don't want to pay 8-9 against Toronto in Toronto, but I'll probably stay away from Toronto. And I love the Braves. I mean, it's a bad lefty. They've just been mashing lefties. And they're usually going to be low owned against lefties because they got all lefties. But they've been mashing lefties. So Albies, Swanson, Freeman, Markakis, Suzuki, Culberson, he comes out of nowhere and just goes off. So he's in play as well. They're going to add a DH. So they'll have Flowers and Suzuki in the lineup, I'm sure, because they're 2 of their better hitters. You gotta like the Braves here.
Yeah, I agree. Anytime Atlanta, or I should say this, anytime a good National League offense gets to play in the AL and get a DH and add an extra hitter to their lineup, it's typically a good idea to look there and make sure that you're not missing out on an opportunity. And you could be if you don't play the Braves tonight against Jaime Garcia, a bad lefty in Toronto, especially if they open up this roof. When they open up that roof, the ball does carry a little bit better. And as far as Soroka, I do think this kid's going to be very good, but I'm not paying 8-9 for a rookie going up against Toronto, whose best games did come against the Mets during a span where they were probably the worst offense in the league. Well, Maybe not Baltimore. They were really close. Really neck and neck with Baltimore for the worst offenses in the league.
Yeah, I mean, I would say the Mets are better now because the Mets got some guys back.
They got some guys back, and they're starting to hit a little bit, yes. But at that stretch when Soroka saw them, they were Baltimore. Minus, they didn't strike out as much, but they were Baltimore. If you have a lefty against them, and they were worse than Baltimore. So Soroka, I do like the kid. I just don't think this is a spot for me at 8-9 is kind of a high price tag, you know?
Yeah, you'd be super low on if you want to take that shot.
Oh, yeah, he will be. He'll be super low. That's a good point.
I don't really like that.
Yeah, me either. Carlos Rodon, the lefty from the Chicago White Sox, visiting Mike Clevinger of the Cleveland Indians. Total here is 9. Cleveland minus 200 at home. 71 degrees, 60% humidity. Not a bad day for baseball by any means, but not necessarily a great environment for hitting unless we get some really good dew points, which I will check tomorrow. What do you
got? I mean, this will be Clevenger's third time facing them in less than a month. 2 times back-to-back. Not very good. They're not very good. He just absolutely crushed them his last game. He's 10-8. I mean, he's definitely in consideration for sure. I hate pitching guys that just face the team. And he has not been the same pitcher this year he was last year, at least for DFS purposes. He's not been having major upside. His last 2 good games is against this team. So it's decent. It's not too hot here. The wind's not blowing out. It's kind of blowing across. Carlos Rodon, if it wasn't in Cleveland, I could be on that, but not here. Not now. I probably don't like too much out of here.
Yeah, I don't really want to pick on Rodon. We know that he's actually a pretty good pitcher, and I know he's been a little slow coming back from injury, but at some point, I think that he's at least earned a reputation with me enough to where I don't really love to pick on him. Cleveland is home, and we know they play a lot better at home, so I don't mind the Cleveland stack. I do think they'll go pretty low owned. And then if Rodon does get wild, which he has a tendency to do, his pitch count gets elevated, he won't last long anyway. So you can make a case for Cleveland. Clevinger, I don't know. What is he? He's 10-8. We have Chris Sale against the Twins on the slate. We have Justin Verlander against the Rays on the slate.
Yeah, but you get a big savings there.
You do. You get a big savings to come to Clevinger, who has probably a better matchup than all of them against the White Sox.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I would say.
But, as you mentioned, Cash, this is going to be the third time that he's going to see these guys?
Third time in less than a month. Yeah.
It's tough, the more the hitter sees you, the more comfortable he gets, and that's a lot of at bats. You know what I mean?
And it's like I went there with Bauer once the weather kind of cleared up, but he's on a different level than Clevinger.
Agreed.
Like Bauer is in the elite level, Clevinger is not.
Agreed. And that's what it comes down to. Clevinger's a good pitcher. I think we could agree on that. But Clevinger's xFIP is 3.98 and his strikeout rate is 21.9%. So like you said, he's not on the level of the Klubers, the Bauers, even the Carrascos. Like he's not on that kind of level just yet. Maybe he will. He's still young, but he's not there yet. And he's got upside, and he's done well. But I don't know if I want to invest in that and take him over a Chris Sale against the Twins, over a Justin Verlander against the Rays, for a kid who's going to see these guys 3 times in less than a month.
And he's coming off of a huge game against them, so that's going to raise his ownership. The matchup will raise his ownership. The weather will raise his ownership. The savings will raise his ownership. Like everything you can point to could raise his ownership.
I agree, man. I agree. Matt Boyd, the lefty from the Detroit Tigers, visiting everybody's favorite cousin, Sal Romano of them Cincinnati Reds. Total here is 9. Cincinnati minus 1. 25, 81 degrees. 77% humidity. And potentially 22% chance of precipitation. So hopefully the rain holds out. Because if it doesn't rain, we're going to have a great hitting atmosphere here. Warm, very humid. Great American Small Park. It's exciting. What do you got?
Ay, ay, ay. Um, I love to stack against guys that just lose control, like Sauermano. Just walk everyone. They get a big park upgrade. Like, I kind of like that Mickey's gone because then people just automatically just write them off. Martin, he's almost 5K. Oh my God. I like Detroit here. Um, I like Detroit. I mean, I got to. And on the other side, I always want to stack against this guy because I'm just waiting for that game where he just gets blasted. It hasn't come, really. It has not come. But Suarez, he's a monster. I love Suarez here, and I love Duvall here. I love those two bats for sure.
Yeah, it's funny. Duval last year was like completely reverse splits, right? Like he sucked against lefties, and he was awesome against righties. This year it's been the complete opposite. Dude can't hit a righty to save his life, but he's actually hitting really well against lefties. So I don't know the hell's going on with that dude. But I do like Duval from the Reds, and I like Suarez. After that, it gets kind of dicey. The Reds haven't been so great against lefties. I too am waiting for this guy to get his face pounded because you know what's coming. I mean, he's got a 233. He's got a 233 xFIP. I'm sorry, a 233 BABIP. His xFIP is 4.9. And, I mean, maybe it could happen here because he does have a 48.4% fly. He's an extreme fly ball guy. So maybe it can happen here, even if it is just Suarez and Duval. I mean, like, Scott Schebler could.
Votto. I take Votto.
Votto certainly could. Schebler certainly could. And Scooter Gennett, while he has a higher strikeout rate against lefties, he could. Like, they can get a hold of it, And the ball's going to carry. So, it's hard not to like both offenses in this game, but the Tigers definitely seem a little bit more of an upper hand. Like we know what we're getting in Sauermano. You know what I mean? we know what we're getting. You know what I mean?
Jose Peraza is now going to hit a grand slam.
Yeah. Yes. Peraza. Yes, that's a guy I forgot about. Yeah, that's a guy I did completely forget about. Is there really still games going on right now? Wow.
Yeah, Ahmed just hit a dome.
Yes, that's the only reason I knew that there was still a game going on. Wow.
Oh man, I got Goldie today at 4%.
There you go. Goldilocks. Loving it.
But I didn't stack Texas. I pitched against them.
Wow. You just love Ian Kennedy. I don't know. Who pitched for...
I pitched Ian Kennedy.
It was Ian Kennedy. Okay.
Oh, he didn't do terrible, but he gave up a lot of runs.
It's just funny because I know you have like a thing for him,
I hate this guy.
I know. You like it's like such a love-hate thing. Like it's like you hate the dude, but then every so often, like I know you'll play the guy, and like don't get me wrong, I think everybody has a little like once in a while, like thinks they're gonna, I think Kennedy can do some work here because I mean like it's weird, but he can have those games, like he can.
I play him way too much.
Exactly. But yeah, I like both offenses here as well, Cash. And the Tigers as well. Leonard Martin, super expensive, but I think he's a very, very good hitter. Rich Hill, you bastard. You bastard. What are you doing back here, my man? What are you doing here? Last time you were on a slate, you ruined my life, and I have not forgiven you, nor will I ever forgive you. Vaginitis of the fingers, as Patio Joe always called him. Rich Hill, the lefty from Patio Joe's Los Angeles Dodgers, visiting Mike Montgomery, fellow lefty of the Chicago Cubbies. Total in this game, we do not have. Obviously, we were waiting for that thunderous Chicago wind in the Windy City. Looks like it could rain. 70 degrees, 83% humidity, 47% chance of precipitation, 8-mile-per-hour winds blowing in. Chicago is a -125 home favorite. What are you doing with old pussy fingers?
I never pitch him. I don't care. Like I love his curveball. It's awesome to watch. But the dude is the biggest P in baseball. 100%. That's a fact. He throws 2 pitches. Like I didn't play him. I know you did. I remember very vividly.
Yes.
Yeah.
The hate was real that night. The hate was real.
Yeah. I don't play this guy, man. He's too much of a P for me. You come out and throw 2 pitches and you just gotta leave the game because you got a blister. Like, come on, man. This guy, no way. He's probably not gonna throw much. I mean, I don't know what he did in his rehabs, but I'm guessing he's not gonna come out here and go very deep. So maybe you could stack the Cubs. I don't mind Rizzo against a lefty, but I don't think Rich Hill's the best matchup for him. I don't know. I don't really like either side. Like I kind of like Montgomery because it's a lefty against this team, so it's decent. He's I don't know what I want to do here.
I'll tell you what I want to do. I want to sit back and hope this game gets rained out. Boom, boom, boom. Won't have to worry about nothing. But in all seriousness, there's not. I mean, just from the naked eye, there's just not much I love. Like when the wind's blowing in and it's like gonna rain and all that. Like I'm not crazy about it. Like we have 15 games. We just talked about so many great hitting environments. It's hard to get excited for this game on either side.
And it's 70 degrees.
Yeah.
Too.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't necessarily mind the Cubs against Rich Hill, but you don't know. Like you don't even know. Like it works both ways. Like you can't play him because he might get pulled, but you can't target against him because you might not be playing against him. They might bring in the Dodger bullpen. And then now what? Like you thought you were attacking Rich Hill, and instead you're getting a slew of Dodger bullpen guys. So yeah, I'm just not crazy about it in general. I don't think we need it. I hope we don't. Chris Sale, the lefty from CashinDFS, is Boston Red Sox visiting Jose Berrios of the Minnesota Twins. Total here is 7.5. Boston minus 175 on the road. 72 degrees, 59% humidity out in Minnesota. What do you
got? I think Sale is back. At least the K's are. Because he went through that little lull there, a couple of games where he's pretty bad. But I would say he's back, throwing over 100 pitches both games. I like him. I like him here because the only bat I'm really worried about is Escobar because I'm not worried about Dozier right now. Dozier is not good. Like, he's just not good this year. I'm not worried about him. And then there's a bunch of lefties. Chris Sale is elite. I like him. I like Chris Sale, but Berrios on the other side, he's at home. I do not want to play a righty against this team, but I might do it. It's just, I'm scared. I'm really scared. He's at home, though, and he's good against righties. Got to worry about Moreland and Benintendi, but, I like him. I do like him.
I think that you could definitely make a case. I know the Red Sox don't really strike out against righties, but Berrios is the kind of pitcher that when he's not striking dudes out, he's getting a lot of soft contact anyway, and then he ends up with a really low pitch count, and he ends up going deep as shit into the game. So from that standpoint, like I do think Berrios does have the upside. Like if Boston, and like we've seen Boston struggle on the road, we've seen them do it. So if that's going to be a situation, we know Berrios pitches a lot better at home. You know, as long as he can last, if he gets the longevity and pitches deep into the game, he's going to get a few strikeouts. It's just a matter of, you can't get beat up. That's the problem. Boston is still a very good offense. So I think there's merit to it. I love Chris Sale, though, man. I think this is an awesome spot. I'm not a big Sale guy. I know that sounds stupid, but like usually when he's pitching, there's other guys like Scherzer or Verlander or whoever. But I really like this spot for Chris Sale. He's on the road, which I believe is a park boost for him. It's not terrible hitting conditions, but it's not the greatest. And the Twins have been horrible against lefties this year. They've just been absolutely terrible against lefties. The only thing I'm not crazy about is Mauer being back. We'll see if he even plays, but the only reason, not that I think Mauer is some great hitter, but he just doesn't strike out a lot, that dude. You know what I mean? It's just one of those pesky guys. So he's the only thing, like maybe the strikeout upside goes down a tiny bit. But when you look at these Twins, man, when you look at some of these ISOs, like as of right now, and I don't know if Kepler is hurt or not, but Kepler and Rosario are their best.
It's the highest ISOs against lefties.
It's crazy. The two lefties are the best, and like it's wild. Like so it's hard. I really like Chris Sale in this particular spot.
Me too.
I'm with it, man.
I think I pitched Chris Sale every single start last year. I believe I did.
I don't blame you, man. He's good. He's that good. He's just dominant. And last year, man, forget it. Like, I think he's back also. I think we're going to start seeing more of those dominant performances. But last year, he was an animal. An animal. Blake Snell, the lefty from the Tampa Bay Rays, visiting Justin Verlander of them Houston Astros. Total is 7. Houston minus 255 at home. It looks like they're probably going to have to close the roof because it's supposed to rain out in Houston. What do you got?
Well, Houston is now the best team in baseball against lefties with 126 WRC plus. I remember earlier there was not so good against lefties. They have come back. So that right there makes me not want to play Blake Snell. I'm not going to play Justin Verlander. I'm just not going to pay 13-3 for a guy that's just not as good since he can't cheat anymore. Just not doing it. I'll let other people do it, and he'll go out and have a good game every once in a while. But if I don't think I got a floor of 30, I'm just good. I'll pass. But I do like the Houston bats. Gaddis was out of lineup today. It really pissed me off. I still stacked them, but nobody did anything except Altuve. So it kind of sucked. I thought that they were going to not be great tonight with the first game being back home. Well, hopefully tonight they'll be good. I think they're interesting. They'll be low owned for sure against Blake Snell. So for tournaments, I kind of like it.
Yeah, I definitely think that we're starting to see some more balance in some of these teams that have, like Houston. We expected Houston to eventually start to hit lefties. Like, you got guys like...
Yeah, I'm waiting on the Red Sox,
yeah.
Man. Like,
he might be waiting a long time for that one.
It's ridiculous.
But yeah, we've been talking about it, about these guys doing better, and Houston has been, like, they've been improving against lefties on the backs of guys like Alex Bregman and, of course, Evan Gattis, who's just been crushing everybody. Evan Gattis got to be, like, the hottest player in the league right now. Just what he's doing is insane. And I love it, man. No gloves, just doing his thing, old school. It's nice. When Evan Gattis hits a home run, it's always nice. It looks good without the gloves. Like old school, like real manly man.
Like he just came out of the clubhouse with a beer in his hand.
Exactly, man. That's what. Yeah, exactly. Like literally, like a hold my beer kind of thing. It's literally like he goes up to bat, it's like hold my beer. Like you know what I'm saying. So yeah, I'm fine with a couple guys. I don't know if I want to go too crazy up against Snell, but I could take a couple of these guys for sure. And they will be super low owned. And I'm with you on Verlander. I would have interest in Verlander only because I'm really hesitant on Clevenger, but it doesn't matter because I have Chris Sale, and I'm fine with that. So it is what it is. I'm cool. I would rather pitch Chris Sale, who's cheaper, and same exact upside.
I mean, Kiermaier's back too. That's going to help this lineup.
Yes.
He's a good hitter.
That's a good point. He's a good hitter. He's a guy that doesn't typically strike out as much, and he's a stolen base threat as well. So if he does get on, he can get in scoring position really quickly. That's a great call. Cole Hamels, the lefty from the Texas Rangers, visiting Jason Hamill of the Kansas City Royals. Total here is 9, Kansas City plus 125. Home underdogs, 88 degrees, 57% humidity. In Kansas City, another great day for hitting. 10-mile-per-hour winds blowing out to left center in one of the larger ballparks in the league. What do you got?
I think I'll be fading Texas again. They're going to be pretty popular against Hamill. I mean, nobody's going to be crazy popular on a huge slate, but I'll be on the fade train. And Cole Hamill, I just hate the guy with a passion. He's been pretty good, though. I will say that. Like, he's been good, but I'm good. I'll find money for somebody else. I'll go down to somebody else. I just don't want him. I'd just stay away. I don't want nothing.
I said I don't want nothing. Yeah, it's an interesting spot for sure. You got the trifecta of weather. Curious to see how many people go back to this spot. I don't think I want to play Jason Hamels at 9-7, mainly because I like Chris Sale so much. So realistically, I'm looking for a cheaper guy to throw with him. And paying 9-7 for Hamels against the Royals. I know he's had good games against the Royals, but don't think I want to do it. I don't think Hamels has a 9-7 type ceiling. And so I don't think I'm doing that. Jason Hamill, I think, sucks. I really do. I think I do like some of these Rangers. It's a big ballpark, though, with a lot of good hitting environments. We got Coors on the slate. There's just a lot to like. And it's not just Coors. We have Jason Vargas in Coors. We'll get there next.
I mean, if I was picking some, it would be Profar and Chu and Gallo, probably.
Yeah, Gallo. I could even throw Mazar on that list. Honestly, the lefties. Give me all the lefties.
I mean, yeah. Chu's been hot. Profar's been hot. So I'll take those. Like, Gallo, he's just home run. And just waiting to have it. Strike out 3 times, home run.
That's it all day. That's the story of that dude's life. As far as the Royals, I could think a couple of these guys like Sal Perez I could certainly take. I know I like him
always
better.
want him against a righty.
Yeah, I like him better against righties. But he's a good hitter. I could take him.
I like Merrifield.
Yeah. Merrifield and even Hunter Dozier if you're looking for value. I could take him.
That's very true.
Speaking of Coors, Jason Vargas, the lefty from my New York Mets, visiting Herman Marquez of the Colorado Rockies out in Denver. Paulie D in the YouTube chat. Of course, you know the deal. I don't know. What did I say? Of course I'm a Mets fan. What did I say? Because I dog him a little bit once in a while? You gotta be real, right? You gotta be real about it.
Hey man, when your team sucks, you gotta
be real.
Gotta say it.
Step up and you gotta be able to handle it like a man. And when they do good, then you throw it in everybody's face. But when they're doing bad, you gotta admit, man, like we're here to make money. And if I can't make money with them, I'm gonna be disappointed in them. So anyway, they are on course. They are kind of heating up, and they get Herman Marquez in Colorado. 11.5 is the total. Colorado minus 155, 72 degrees, 60% humidity out in Coors, so it's not as hot, but it is certainly humid. What do you think?
I mean, there's nothing to think. You gotta love both sides here. I'll start with Colorado because, I mean, good God, I mean, you gotta absolutely love them against this guy, man. It's just a soft tossing lefty in Coors. It's just going to be serving up beach balls like they're sitting on the beach in Jamaica. Oh, man. Trevor Story is once again my favorite play on the slate. I love Trevor Story. You could give me all these guys. I love them all. And then on the other side, Marquez is a pile of garbage. I'll take righties. I'll take lefties. I'll take them all. Nemo is a baller. Love that kid. Finding Nemo. It's one of my favorite new players in baseball. Conforto, you take a back seat. Go somewhere, you sorry ass. Cabrera is a baller. Frazier's back. Mesoraco is a baller as well. Jay Bruce sucks balls. I like Nemo. I love Nemo.
Yeah, man. They really jacked up the Rockies' prices. Like, LeMahieu was only 4.9. He's fine. But, like, Blackman 5'8",
5'8", 5'7", 5'5".
They're so expensive, but they are in such a great spot on paper against Vargas's sorry behind. Rockies definitely in play, just a matter of how many you can afford, and if you have to pick a few, you have to make sure you pick them right, because it's giving a lot of upside. If you're choosing to fade, I think that there's merit. There's plenty of other spots on the slate, but it's certainly a risk, because I do think that the Rockies will do well. I think if you're fading the Rockies, you're just hoping that you're finding a team or a spot that does better, or just as good at least, for a cheaper price. And yeah, I'm all for it. The Mets seem like they're heating up, man. Like, they burned me a lot of times, but I know Paulie D's been on the Mets bandwagon lately, kind of like, from a DFS perspective, of course. He thinks that they're heating up, and he's been right. So I think I'm with it. Brandon Amo, he's been hitting lefties, hitting righties. Even Conforto, who, like, I dog Conforto. I don't think anybody's harder on Michael Conforto than I am. I am so disappointed in what he's done. Like, I blame him for a lot of the struggles, because in my opinion, he's supposed to be the guy that's supposed to step up. But
I would say that he's not fully recovered.
Mm-hmm. There's certainly a good possibility of that. I mean, yeah. There's not a lot of people talking about that, but he is coming back from a surgery. So, I mean, the dude tore his lat swinging a bat or something like that. That's wild. That's just wild.
Yeah, I mean, the power just seems to be gone.
Right. But he did. Somehow he seems to be able to crush Corbin, which is weird because he's not good against lefties. But for some reason, the Mets seem to be able to hit Corbin. Anyway, Nemo, Asdrubal Cabrera. I like Todd Frazier a lot here, and yeah, I think I'm with you. think the lefties are in plays on the Mets, and I expect Coors to kind of go off again. Again, it's just a price thing. The Mets are certainly a lot more affordable though than the Rockies.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, the most expensive one is Nemo at 4.8.
Yeah, that's not even that bad. Like, what's the cheapest guy on the Rockies?
I mean, you got Desmond. You got Desmond at 4.5.
Yeah,
LeMahieu's at 4.9.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. And you got that Cuevas kid at 3.5. He's always cheap.
Yeah, he's cheap. Inetta's cheap, but Inetta might not even make the lineup.
That's true. Yo, oh, by the way, that Tom Murphy dude, like, he's like a super strikeout guy, but you got to see his numbers in the minors, man. Huge power. He had like a 300-something ISO in the minors. Through a pretty good sample. I mean, the problem is he had a 27% strikeout rate, so he seems to be a Joey Gallo-esque type player. But anyway, Matt Cook of the Atlanta Braves visiting Felix Pena of the Los Angeles Angels. 74 degrees, 56% humidity out in LA, and we don't have a spreader with total just yet because this young kid is going. So I don't know for sure if this kid is in the pool or not. Do you?
He is. Yeah, he's 4.4.
4.4. Kick in the door.
Cheapest pitcher on the slate.
What do you think? You know anything about this kid?
He's been bad when he's been in the majors. He's been getting crushed. I don't think he's ever started a game though. So this will be his first start. I like Goldschmidt. Goldschmidt's super expensive, but the guy is on white hot fire. He hit another one today. This team is hot as a whole. Peralta is super hot. Descalso is hot. Jake Lamb is swinging the bat. Nick Ahmed, sorry ass, just hit a home run. I like them. Mr. Koch sucks a you know what? So I stack the hell. I stack against him every fifth day. I think he really sucks. I think he is one of the worst pitchers in baseball. He goes out and proves me wrong in easy matchups and goes out and has good games. I don't give a damn. Trout, Upton finally hit a home run today. Pujols hit I think 2 home runs in a row, I believe. Valbuena, I'll take Kinsler. I'll take any bat in baseball against this guy. This guy's bad.
Agreed. I really like Jose Fernandez over there for the Angels.
Still 2.8.
2.8. First base, second base eligible on DraftKings. You can play him in 2 places, whichever one that you need it. Second base at 2.8 is just a great thing for me. So, love that kid here. Lefty going up against Cook, whatever. And I know it's not the best ballpark, but all that's going to do is lower ownership here. So, yeah, I think both offenses are in a decent spot.
The ballpark hasn't been that bad this year either. The ballpark's been pretty decent this year.
And like the Angels have a lot of power. Like Kinsler can hit home runs, Trout monster, Upton power, Pujols power, Jose Fernandez power, Valbuena like got the power. Like, and the D-backs are another one of them teams too. They got a lot of lefty power, they got a lot of righty power. John Ryan Murphy, Paul Goldschmidt, Descalso, Peralta, all these guys have power. So that's another one of the sneakier games on the board, I think, for stack purposes. Paul Blackburn of the Oakland Athletics visiting Eric Lauer, the lefty from the San Diego Padres. Total here is 8.5. San Diego minus 105 at home. 69 degrees, 73%. Another beautiful day in St. Diego.
Yeah, not the greatest hitting weather when you got 90 degrees with double-digit wind blowing out on the slate. I don't really know a lot about this Blackburn guy. I know that he got almost a negative 20 his last game out. Like, they left him in and he just kept getting pounded. He didn't give up not one home run either. Like, he's just giving up hit after hit after hit after hit. And they just left him out there. Screw it. We're going to let Houston just wallop you for a negative 20. I know that Eric Lauer sucks in my opinion. I wish it was a righty. Crush Davis, love. Simeon is good. Olsen, lefty on lefty, nobody will play that. That's okay. It's just if somehow the Padres are leading, then you get the good bullpen for the Padres, which is not something that you really want to attack. If the A's come out and jump on them, what you want if you stack them, then you might get Mr. Brian Mitchell, who is worse than Lauer probably. You get bad bullpen guys, so you got to take your pick. And on the other side, I don't know. Maybe I want to stack against Blackburn, but I really don't know because I don't know enough about him right now.
Yeah, that's something I gotta dig into tomorrow. One thing I know about Blackburn is he's got a really high ground ball rate, and like when he got beat up that day, like that's his deal. Like you said, he doesn't really give up home runs. Even in a game where he got destroyed, it was all basically like hits. And if you look at his batting average balls in play, it's sitting at about 357. So like he just kind of been on the wrong side of variance for that particular game. But that's the kind of pitcher he is. He's going to ride that. He's not going to strike guys out. He's got like an 8% strikeout percentage. Like he's not going to strike anybody out. But he's got like a 60% ground ball rate. So that's his game. He pitches to contact. He's trying to get you out whatever way he can. And the Padres, they add a couple strikeouts for you. But in my opinion, aside from what Tehran just did to him, Tehran just feasted on them. The Padres were kind of hot before that. So.
And they're also better at home,
yeah,
too. Right,
yes. And they're also better at home. So don't think I want to go there. And for Lauer at 4.5, I think, as weird as this is going to say, I think you can kind of look at this from both ends of the spectrum. Because while guys like Pinder and Chris Davis have shown power against lefties, the rest of the A's have kind of struggled this year, at least from a strikeouts perspective. There's some decent ISOs, but they have been striking out a lot against lefties. Because these same guys, like Chris Davis has a 30% strikeout rate to lefties. Chad Pinder has a 30% strikeout rate to lefties. Olsen has like a 27% strikeout rate to lefties. So depending on what lineup we see, it's going to determine whether or not I want to play the A's or not. If I like what I see when the thing comes out, I can definitely play some A's. But if I'm seeing something funky, I'll probably just pass.
You could play Lauer because he's 4.5 too. Like if you want to get crazy,
yeah, they're definitely getting crazy. But a consideration again, like I think that Chris Sale and if you like Verlander or if you like,
say you wanted to play Chris Sale and stack Core, like get Arenado and Story.
That's what I'm thinking. If that's the route you want to go, you're gonna need a guy in that price range or maybe even lower. Agreed, but definitely risky because the dude sucks. But I think he had a decent game against the Cardinals. I'm gonna double check that.
Yeah, no, he was balling against him. Yeah, hell yeah, I stacked the Cardinals that day. I was pissed.
Yeah, I like it. All right, last game on the slate: Dan Straley of the Miami Marlins visiting Derek Rodriguez, the son of Pudge Rodriguez of the San Francisco Giants. Total here is 7.5. San Francisco minus 160 at home. 61 degrees, 76% humidity, kind of chilly if you ask me for this point in the year in San Francisco. What do you think? Last game on the slate.
I mean, both of these guys faced each other in Miami. They each gave up home runs. Australia gave up 2, I believe. This guy gave up 1. I don't know. I don't really want no bats here. I don't like. I know I don't want no Miami bat. I don't think. And then on the other side, Belt. But I just hate lefties in this park. I much prefer righties in this park. I really just I really just don't want anything. I don't think.
Yeah, I can't really disagree. Straley's been a shell of himself. Rodriguez still young.
I mean, he was striking. I think he was striking him out, but he gave up a couple home runs.
He just hasn't been like last year. I played Straley a good amount. Like last year, he had a lot of good games. He had a lot of days where he was reliable. This year, he was hurt, but he came back from injury and he sucked ass since he's been back. And Rodriguez just hasn't really shown us the upside. Hasn't been consistent. Hasn't really done anything too well. Hasn't done anything too bad, but just kind of been blah. So I think he's just too young. Huge ballpark. We have so many other great hitting environments, great teams, and it's just hard to get excited for either side here.
Yeah, and I just don't love the price on either one of these guys.
Right.
To pitch.
Right. At least if they were dirt cheap, we can consider it. It's not like these are two outstanding offenses by any means. All right.
Straley did strike out Sale.
Yeah, that's impressive. That is. All right, it's going to do it for the game-by-game breakdown. At this point, I'm going to remind everybody, if you haven't already, check us out at wisetape.com. I don't know what you're waiting for. Come rock with the nation. See what it is to rock with the nation. You want to be a true member of the Wise Take Nation, a true winner in the DFS community. You got to come see what we're all about. $2.50 is all it takes to get you one full day of access to the Wise Take Nation and kind of see what it is we're all about and see what it is we have to offer. We will have a strategy session tomorrow for those of you who are new or don't know what that is. Basically, during the week, whenever there's not an early slate, we actually take an extra step and we do an extra stream around 1:30 p.m. Eastern. And we actually do the research with you guys. We break down the slate with you guys, just giving you our perspective, letting you see the numbers on the screen, and you can make your own interpretation and make your own, things. Or you can just listen to hear what we have to say. But it's been really cool. There's a chat. You can ask questions. We literally just, one of us will be on there to share our screen and really break down the slate with you and show you the numbers and kind of show you what to look for. It's been really great, and our members love it. So that's one of the things you will get tomorrow, in addition to what you get every day, which is CashinDFS's or whoever else's MLB GPP article. Tomorrow it is Cash's GPP article. Johnny the Greek's Cash Game article. Cam's cheat sheets, which have been awesome this year. Of course, you also get access to the Y stream, which is something similar to this, but an hour and a half before lock. After everybody's done their research, this podcast, we give it our best, but it's obviously a first look. But you got to see the Y streams, uncensored, unfiltered. It's a private show, so we don't have to, watch what we say and all that. And we have a lot of fun. There's a chat there as well. The nation can ask questions, and like I said, it's after we've done our research, so we're ready to rock at that point. But yeah, it's a community thing. We got to chat. We got all that kind of stuff, man. Everybody talks to each other. Much peace, much love. And of course, Paulie D just reminded me, we have the expert poll, which is one of the coolest things we have going, man. We'll have like 3 or 4 guys fill out a questionnaire of some of the key questions on the slate. Who's your favorite cash game pitcher, tournament pitcher, yada yada yada. It's been really cool. Love that feature, but we are rocking it, man. And the nation's hot, mind you. The nation is hot, man. We're gonna start grabbing some of our members who have won some good money, and we're gonna ask them what they think of the nation, because I think the people need to know. People need to know what it is we're doing around here, and I don't think everybody knows. I think that we have a lot of people who listen and they think they know, but they don't really know. No. Anyway, Cash, let's do some top threes, man. Top 3 pitchers. Who you got?
Jeffrey Rodriguez, Chris Sale, and if this dumbass wants to throw out all righties again, Vincent Velasquez.
Yes, I love it. If the dumbass is going to be dumb, if the dumbass is doing dumbass things, then dumbass he will be. Yeah, Chris Sale for sure. My favorite SP1. I do really like Jeffrey Rodriguez at 5'9", because I am going to be looking for some cheap my files to play with Chris Sale, so I can get some bats in. And if I was going to go in the mid tier, I do love Vince Velasquez, but I guess I'll try to find a different one. Keyword here is try, and you know what? I don't think I'm gonna. I think that's basically it, because the only other guy that I can look at and honestly consider is with Sale, aside from Jeffrey, is probably Eric Lauer right now, and that makes my stomach hurt a little bit. So I'm just not gonna think about that. Top 3 stacks. What you got, Cash?
I will say I like Berrios and old Yankees dude a lot too.
Yes.
For tournaments. Top 3 stacks, Washington for sure. I mean, I can't say Colorado. I mean, Colorado's Colorado. Washington. This is tough. I'm not gonna say them either. God damn that. Arizona. I'll say Arizona And then I will get a little freaky here. And I'm going to say the Phillies against this sorry SOB.
I like that, man. I really do. It's a small park. Nobody's going to go there against Weaver. And he's not been very good. And the Phillies been really hot. I do like that call. I'll go with the Nationals as well. Hard not to like them in this spot against Hess. After that, I'll go with the New York Mets. A little bit of a homer call, but Paulie's kind of he's just pumping up the Mets so high in my head that I have to. I feel like I would just let everybody down if I didn't. So let's hope the Mets stay hot. And then my little off the board kind of play will be the Angels against Coke. It's pretty on brand. I always try to attack this guy, and unfortunately it hasn't always worked out. But I'm going to keep going after him because I truly believe he sucks. And so
he does.
Yes, I truly in my heart believe that. So, all right.
Well, I got somebody I completely forgot about, and it's we would have to say it's Homer, but Atlanta Braves. I totally forgot about Jaime Garcia.
Jaime. Yep, Braves getting the DH. It's scurry. But imagine the Nationals getting a DH right now. Scurry.
They don't need it.
Yeah. They really don't. Especially when Scherzer's on the hill. That dude could hit. Anyway, Dong Watch time, Cash. Who's your first pick? Who's scoring the yard tomorrow?
Bryce Harper.
All right. I will go with no cores. So actually, did we make that a rule, or did I dream that? Are we allowed to pick cores now in the Dong Watch?
I mean, you said no core. I didn't want to pick cores as a stay.
I always believe we did that, but I feel like recently Paulie talked me into allowing cores on a show. I'm pretty sure he was like, "It's stupid. You should just allow it." And Cam was like, "Yeah, I agree." And I was just like, "All right, fine." But I'm not gonna do it just because. I'm just not gonna do it. I'm gonna go with. I guess I'll go with a little leverage off of your boy. You know what? I'm going to go with Eric Thames against Tyatt, actually. I'm going to go with Thames. He's 5K. There's nobody playing his ass.
Justin Upton.
I like it. I'll get me some Mike Trout action since you've got the Bryce Harper action.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna say Ryan Healy.
Nice. That was off the board AF. I'll go with Jose Fernandez at 2-8 against the Cook Man, or the Coke dealer, or the Koch sucker, whatever nickname you prefer. The nickname just depends on the pronunciation, but that we'll save that for a different discussion. That is going to do it, ladies and gentlemen, for the Wise Take MLB DFS podcast. If you're watching on YouTube, please click that thumbs up, that like button, subscribe to the channel. If you are watching us on Facebook, please give us a like and a share to support the Wise Take Nation. If you're watching us on Twitch or Twitter, give us a follow, give us a retweet, show us some love. And if you're listening to us on Podbean or iTunes, give us some 5-star reviews, help bump us up those charts. Whatever platform you are using to get your Wise Take fix, do the right thing and show us some love, show us some support. It allows us to continue to do these shows for you guys, and it allows the nation to be the dominant Wise Take Nation that we are. Cash, anything in closing before we get up out of here?
There's a lot of options on here, so if you're not making a lot of teams, I wouldn't be doing no 5-man stacks. I'll be taking out my favorite pieces and trying to make one hell of a lineup.
Like a Monstar squad.
I mean, if you're making 20 lineups, then I would be making some 5 stacks. If you're making 3 lineups, I probably wouldn't be doing that today.
Squad up. I like it. Little pickup action. So, for CashinDFS, for myself, the entire Wise Take Nation, as always, good luck.
Yeah.